Good morning, everybody. Oh, that should be a little better on the music. That a little too loud off the hop. Okay, well, welcome back to the 100K Bink or Bust Bankroll Challenge. Bankroll back to 6K yesterday. So we're on the grind back. It's good to our peak height, which I think was 62 or 6,300. Had a pretty short session. I think we played just under 1,000 hands yesterday, and given stack sizes, I guess we fold here. Okay, I think I'll double barrel here, lock in king queen. We have ace king, he doesn't. Okay, he calls again. So on the river, checks to us. He knows we double barrel a lot. He could have some king 10, king jack. Could have some 5x. Could have like 8s or 9s as well. He could have like 6, 7. Yeah, I think we just give up on the river. Yeah, I don't know if we get called or not. If we were to rip there, if we shove there, we're basically saying, we have aces or like ace king, pocket fives, pocket fours. But we do have the ace of diamonds, which blocks a bunch of his like check calling range, although he doesn't really, probably does more check raising with the nut flush than calling. But anyways, let me just pull the stream up here, and then we'll get to the full-blown update. Alright, so that's up. Ace king suited will raise. Pocket sevens. 70s off, sorry, we're just folding. Against this guy on this board, he just called. I think we'll go for the check raise here. He is pretty aggressive, so we do expect him to bluff at this pretty frequent with just about any draw that he could have, and I think he'll value bet a bunch with ace x. Once he checks back, I can't see him having flush cards or jack queen or 7-8, so he probably has like 10x, ace x, maybe like pocket 8s or something. So I don't think we want to overbet here. I think we just want to bet 3/4 and then try to bet river and get a call. Ace 10 would have been cool. Or wait, yeah, that was an ace something? Yeah, ace 10 would have been awesome. Alright, fold 4-3. So not much going on right now. Tables are pretty slow. Palm shrimp goes back here. The 1-2 table. I mean, we are back to 6K. That's a pretty big fish. This is a pretty big fish. This guy's pretty unknown. Tokyo Penthouse is very good though, and aggressive. But if we did sit here, yeah, I don't know. Right. So, anywho, there's fold 4s here, fold 7-5. So, yesterday, check that out quick. Yeah, so yesterday we did start off down 150 over the first 400 hands, and then we ran that up to over 300. Oh, so, excuse me. Overall, it was a pretty good day yesterday. Short session though. A lot of short sessions lately, so volume, like we said, is kind of the most important thing. So we are going to try to be getting more hands in. Luckily, we are ahead of schedule pretty decently. But again, we really need to be we need to get that 2K done probably by like May 1st. Because I think we have a pretty clean cut win rate, excuse me, win rate at NL 100. So we can pretty cleanly sort of define how much we're going to win based on how many hands we play. So we do need to get the volume in. And maybe I should just sit this table. We do need to get the volume in so we can try to hit that goal in time. Be right back, guys. 2 seconds. Well, we're going to try to keep the stream going here. I know it just started. I'll probably just leave it, honestly. I have to shut it off right now. Like, all my little hooligans seem to be waking up at 5:50. So, wife can't get them that bed. We'll be turning this off. Because then you can't be on camera for this type of content, or YouTube will just shut it down. So we're sitting at next blind. Fold king 10. Fold king 4. But anyways, yeah, so overall, pretty good run yesterday. And I think over the month, just did it on 100. We do have a bunch of NL 50 hands mixed in as well. So fold 4-3. Oh, should have sat, took that seat. Fold 7-3 suited. Okay, doubles up. Right, well, we're just going to sit here, even though we're sitting out. We can decide when we come back, so we don't lose our seat here. Now we do raise the suited. That. Okay, we'll bump up the ace-5 suited. We're going to ISO the ace-8 off. We're going to raise the ace-8 suited. So call here. You can 4-bet, you can call. Alright. Checks to us twice, I think. Did I see that flop here? Didn't see the flop. I am just gonna double rail here though. Okay. And check here. I think Chimp will think we're gonna play pretty honest with ideally only 10 bigs in the pot. He checks twice. I don't really think he's going to call much, so I think we could probably steal this pretty frequently. We actually probably potentially have the best hand, but probably not that often. All right, that's going to sit out. It's just going to be one table here, so yeah, we're just going to do a quick sit out. We did lose a fish, so we'll see. I'm just going to be 2 seconds. As soon as this hand's done, we'll be right back. Like one or 2 minutes, we won't be long. Okay, interesting flop. Multi-way. Think. So we're back. Managed to wrangle up the little guy, put him back to bed. So a little early for them to be up, or at least the youngest one. Yeah, I think four-handed's not really. I think I'll just leave that table. Again, we're looking for really good spots right now. Our bankroll's at 40 bigs, and then we'll start playing slightly less great spots. Holy, everybody just get stacked there and lose, or what? I don't know. Yeah, table jumped in. Eights are a raise. Actually, three-handed, we've been going smaller. I guess I just call. Seems weird. Fives, nice. Yes, we can run it twice. So I'll take this note. Sat down and first hand, three-handed shove. Oh, he hit the five. Nope, they shoved 40. We will not be playing Jump Heads Up. Okay, so we're down to two tables, one NL 100 table, one NL 50 table. If one more person joins this table, we will join. We might as well start heads up the other table. But basically, Invictus just has my number, despite allegedly how everybody seems to stack the shit out of this guy. I cannot. So, I don't. Turn your mic. Okay, let me try to fiddle with it. So, microphone needs to be turned up. I need to figure out how to do this. I wonder if it's just this microphone. I wonder if it's closer up here. Like, it's barely even registering. Okay, that seems a little better. Let me think. Is this going to be on camera? It looks ridiculous. No? How's that? Okay. I wonder. Yeah, it's out of view. I wonder if it's because I had the background noise on it decreased so much. Alright, what happened here? Alright, we ISO'd it. We're just gonna value bet big here against Endare, who's playing everything. That's kind of a bad turn card. I think we're gonna block bet because I think there's still. What? Maybe if I turn it this way. No, that's worse. This be this way. Okay. I guess we just check. Yeah, we did have the best hand against him, so he did think the I guess let me know if you guys can hear this microphone okay or not. I have a bunch of background noise settings on it, so I'm not sure if that's partially the reason why it can't be heard or what. Just maybe there's some way to turn it up, but I don't know. It's full blast, and it's a decent microphone. Should it should not be that quiet. Trappy. Traps a lot. Okay, well, we raised the king 8, that's reason. Chimp, 3 bets, we're definitely folding here. Andari, okay, so this guy's just pure money. Pure free money. Yeah, okay, so this doesn't seem to be making any difference at all. Bringing the microphone up. Yeah. I wonder. I just need like a little closer I get. It doesn't even get that much louder. You went right into it. So, yeah. Okay. Well, maybe he does get a little bit. I feel like it should be adjusting right now to that. King 10, 3-bet call, both are fine. Fold here. And I guess we'll reset this NL100 table. Since we don't have a whole lot else going on. Fold the king 8, fold the 5-4. And we'll raise the 6-5 off. Okay, calls. I think on this board, relatively dry. I get away with a pot here. And I think we don't have much equity. Jack's a decent card for us, though. It's just another face card to put more scare cards out there for him. So I think we can definitely bet here. Try to keep an eye on the chat. And yeah, just let me know if the microphone's any better or not. Let me bring this back. I'll just bring this back here and see. Maybe if I go this way with it, it'll be on a bit more of an angle. Maybe that'll help. The Jack, no, so he's 3xing everything, which is good. Yeah, I guess we'll just see if the microphone's. It doesn't seem. That seems like it might be a couple notches up now from where it was. Not the greatest of tables down here. And the 9-6 suited will raise. Queen 4 folding. Okay. And we're going to value bet the 9. It really isn't a bad 1-2 table, but we'll fold the 10-4. Leads into us for almost pot. It's interesting. The big leads are usually value on turns. We don't have a very good hand either. No back, like no redraws. Like there's really nothing for us there. But generally, with weaker players, the turn donk leads are like a jack there because there's 2 draws out there. He doesn't want me checking back and taking a bunch of free cards, and it's really not a bad play at all. But it is, I think, one that's relatively standard for them. If he went small, yeah, it's like bet sizing indicative. or bet size telling, whatever, that like if he went small on the turn there, that's him trying to get a free card, and when he goes big, it's trying to like get value because he has a value hand. Otherwise, he would just check call. And queen high will value bet on the ace king with 2 pair. We fold jack 7. We get shoved on, we'll just let that go. I'd probably value bet flushes, I'd value bet queen high, and then obviously aces, kings, stuff like that. Fold the 8-4. Okay, make 2 pair. We're just going to value bet it ourselves. Limp to pot, I think. Most of the time, everybody's just going to check down. 3-bet the king queen suited. Raise the ace 8 suited. Okay, as expected, I guess, and Darig does call. It's good for us. You can, of course, have queen 5, 10-5, queen 10, given how he plays. Okay, this is interesting. He does call, and then he tanks a little bit on the turn. I think we have to check that back here. Yeah. I guarantee you he caught that 10. We do have 2 pair here. We're of course calling. We do lose to 8-9 and 8-6, 7-10. Yeah, we just have to fold here. Nice. Could have probably got more out of him if we just shoved turn, maybe. Hard to say. But there are a few better pairs and sets in his range. Yeah, check, bet call, check, 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 bet call. Yeah, so he's just stationing. I don't think he's bluffing there when he goes full pot on the river, or over pot, or whatever it was. And I think there was a bit of a timing tell, to be honest, on the turn. Like he calls flop, and then the way he sort of tank thought turn, and then check called, and then, or then checked, and then smashed pot in the river. It's that, or it was either like king jack, right? But this type of player is going to hit and try to get the showdown. He's only going to bet when he has it. It is possible that maybe he overvalues like queen jack here and does that, but I doubt it. I would say that's like a 99% of the time, even though he is pretty spewing. You could also argue maybe going small on the turn here, still get value. Yeah, I think turn is probably still a bet. We do have flush draws, we do have queen, king. So if he shoves, we can still probably call, given the odds we're getting pretty positively. Okay, we're going to 3-bet here and hope he comes along. He does. Ruby's going to come along with a pretty wide range too now. He's just so nitty. Although, I think I have to call Jackster, to be honest. I think this is ace-king enough of the time. When he just shoves it, I think he'd be 4-betting more often. Smaller with, like, aces. But against, like, Ruby Jones, nice. Ruby Jones specifically, he's just so nitty that for me to cold 4-bet him, and then him to jam, like, he just doesn't do it with a bluff. So jacks might still be a call anyways, but most players it's just like a snap call. I do like stacking him though. I love stacking it because he's so nitty. Big old knit box. Well, hopefully the microphone's a little bit louder here. Or maybe it was just Calming's sound system. I haven't heard that before, so it's always assumed the sound's good. That's, obviously a possibility. Alright, fold 7-5, fold 7 deuce. Alright, yeah, fold 7 deuce, let's see. King 5. Yeah, King 5 is just going to be a fold, I think, on the button. I think we raise King 6 and up, offsuit, give or take. The player in the blinds. So sick, you're playing every hand, bro. What did you even have there? Jacks versus Ace King. Check, bet, call. Check, bet, wow. It's just not flipping. I think we'll call here. Ace is good. Because I think Chimp will play relatively straightforward with me and GFMLU raising under the gun in here, and my flat looks awfully suspicious. So we're just gonna value bet. Hopefully, obviously, we're just basically targeting Endari here. If GFMLU check raise, I would be a little bit suspicious. Is it for it to be a bluff? Because I think he knows clearly that Endari is just calling everything, especially after the last hand. So for him to like check value there wouldn't make a lot of sense, because you're in this pot, your only target is this guy, right? Like that's just the way it is. Targeting him having anything, basically. So again, we're just gonna bet here. Calls. Okay, that's the best outcome, as he just gets out of the way. And then we're gonna bet 16, that's 50, 30, 75. Yeah, we just want a clean shove on the river here. So we'll bet again. He shoves, that's gross. I think we probably have to call. Nice. I'm gonna say he probably will shove 2 pairs. And if he has a 7, it's just sort of so be it. Let's see if he comes back or not. There's things in my way. Also. That's a nice little gift there. Win the flip. Win a double flip against Ruby, and then just get donated to. Here with Ace King against this guy, we're just gonna go half his stack. Down here, I think we'll 4-bet the Jack 4 suited. Small blind first, big blind 3-bets are pretty. You go pretty polarized. Hands that are easy to fold. Or maybe it's. I have to double check that. I think it's a polarized 4-bet range, but I should probably double check that. I think I make a few assumptions. A few too many assumptions sometimes. I'm gonna float here. And then if he's so small. Alright, well I just have to raise this. It's just too small not to. There's 2 options here. He's trying to bluff really tiny. Or he's like has a 5 and he's just terrified I'm gonna fold, so he's going like really small to try to collect a little bit of value here and not scare me out of the pot. But I feel like it's probably just him trying to get a cheap showdown or whatever. Excuse me. Fold 10-3. I feel like I'm getting cold again. Jeez Louise. Just got over one team. Alright. We're just gonna ISO here. So yeah, bankroll challenge is going pretty good so far. We are on track and on schedule to hit the 100K after 6 months. Which again, sounds pretty aggressive. But I think it's relatively doable. I mean, I only give us like a 10% chance of hitting it, or 15% chance or something like that, to be honest. But it's definitely doable. Because all you need to do from NL 50 to get there is basically win 40 buy-ins at every stake. And then the math, and move up, right? And then the math does, it actually puts you higher than that, I think, after 6 months. I guess just give this one to him. Like if you basically you double NL50, 4K to 8K in the first month. Or sorry, you go from, well, we started at 2,500, but whatever. Whatever your bankroll is, start with 40 bigs for 2K. So NL50 you have 2K in the first month. So over the first 30 days, you go from 2K to 4K, right? So that's 1 month down. Then you go 4K to 8K. That's another month down. Now the jump from NL100 to 200 is bigger. So however you want to look at that, whether you got to like really grind out the volume or just jump early, but you need to go from basically 8K to 20K in a month, right? Like 8K to 16K would be 40 bigs. So you'd have to figure out kind of where your head's at there. I think once you hit 16K though, you can just take shots at NL500 anyways. But bottom line, you double that again, plus a little bit, so you get 20K on your third month. And then your fourth month, playing NL500, you double that. And you are at 40K. And then you take shots at NL1K, you double that on your fifth month. That puts you at 80K, and then you just have 1 full month to grind out another 20K. I don't know why I called this. That was just silly. That was just a misclick, essentially. It was a decent hand, but a misclick nonetheless. All right, we're going to value bet the ace here. Probably should have value bet turn. It's definitely doable. It's doable, especially if you have a job and you're not a poker pro or something and you need those funds. I think you can realistically grind your way up to NL1K relatively quickly. The issue that we're going to run into, I think, in this challenge is that we're a fenced pool. For full pot here, probably still have to call. Definitely a call in position. It's probably still a call out of position as well. And now we just value it. The issue we're going to run into is that NL500 and NL1K. My head's like not moving on that camera at such a. So we are going to have a hard time. I guess a 20 big stack. I can probably call some portion of the time. Trying to lure Chimp into just kind of floating in. Queen 8 suited's probably a little loose under the gun. I have to double check that. Queen 8 might be an open. Queen 7's too loose. He checks. Alright, we're just going to stab small. Not much else to do here. And he check call. Raises pre. Check calls. We're going to value bet here with the flush and after he checks to us twice. So I think we're going to check back here, and then again, I'm just going to rip if he checks. He does not, so we just fold. And here we make the flush, so we are ripping that. And here we are 3-betting the kings. Nice. Yeah, not much you can do there with stack sizes. It is what it is. For me to go runner kind of sucks for him, but when he has the straight, I think it's probably a good fold. And here, against Squeaker, I think we're just going to go bet shove. Not now. Because I don't think he's going. I think we'll tank for a minute. Massive station. Do not forward king. First button. So he definitely has like 9s, 10s, jacks, queens in this range. Okay, so he checks back now. This is where I think we just have to shove. I know it looks kind of scary out there, but I just don't think we're ever beat. So I think we just want to shove and basically put him in the blender with his like 9s or 10x or 8x or something like that. I think you could obviously check back there, but I think when we turn goes check, he's gonna bet that river with a 7 like always. He's gonna be too afraid to miss value. What percentage of taxes do you pay in your country? Poker is not taxed, essentially not taxed in Canada. So, I think think there's been 2 cases in the lifetime of online poker where the CRA tried to force, CRA is like the IRS basically for Canada, tried to force like a professional poker player to pay taxes. I think it was, my understanding is 2 times that's happened, and both times they went to court because the poker players fought it, because your winnings are not taxed in Canada. King 10 raise, and my understanding is that 1 person had to pay and 1 person did not. So that's about it, though. That's all the knowledge I have on it. So I'm a YouTuber. That is not tax advice or any of that BS like that. I have no idea officially what I'm talking about. That is just my understanding of how it works. So, you know, don't listen to me if you're actually looking at your taxes and what you're supposed to pay. Fold the 8-4. We see right here small. Ruby goes in for the check raise. King 10 suited. This guy's been opening actually like really wide, so I think King 10 suited's fine to jam here. We'll just fold to Ruby this time. I think if we were like King 10 clubs, King 10 diamonds, King 10 hearts, we can definitely call there. Pray for 2, 3 jackpots, and that's it. Yeah, exactly. That'd be lovely to hit with that beat. I have not hit one in a long time, but there's people who have been waiting a lot longer. I've somehow Chimp hasn't hit a bad beat jackpot, and he played like over 1 million hands or something crazy. Fold a Queen 4. Okay, we'll check this out. Okay, looks like there is another table opening, so we'll slip into here as well. Okay. For everybody watching, feel free to let me know how the microphone is. There's a comment earlier that it was too low, so if you could just let me know, that would be cool. I think King Jack off's just fold here against under the gun, and with the King High flush draw, we're gonna bet at least twice, probably barrel river as well. If a heart rolls off, we'll be value betting. It all seems relatively standard. Ace 10 suited against the under the gun open. Fold to 4-3. Calls again. The river bricks. Let's check the mega station. Mega station. So if he has a queen, he's probably not going to. Well, we went. What are you even calling with? Okay, the ace 10 suited against that'll fold. We'll definitely fold here. It's a small. That's a small 3-bet too. That's pretty indicative of aces. And he checks. That makes it even more likely that he has pocket aces here. But that's just my 2 cents. We'll see how it plays out if we get to see his actual hand or not. But ace 9 will 3-bet. We'll call. We'll call this time. We'll probably float this board. No, it was not pocket aces. Could have been kings, maybe. Or bluff, depends. Generally speaking, when people size down out of the small, yeah, we're going to float 1 for sure here with the ace 9. And then we're going to bet. I think when we bluff here, I'm just like, we block ace jack, we block jack 9. We definitely have 2 pairs and stuff like that. So when we are bluffing here, I think we want to overbet it. So we're basically saying, hey, you know, we have a straight, we have 2 pair, we have a set. So just check call the overbet. Diamonds roll off. Oh, you're just gonna do that, are you? Last time he did this, he got me. It's 10%. I've coined these 10%. You know what? I'm gonna go for it. Last time he did that, he had it. Show it to him. We're gonna fold the Jack 8 here. Fold Jack 3. Sorry about me leaning into the microphone like that. Fold Jack 10, Jack 6, Jack 7. Fold Jack 10. Alright, I'm gonna mute this microphone for a second. I need to... Alright, we're back. Bottom left, we just shipped there because he checked us a bunch, and we're probably not winning too often with the Jack high. And he would maybe fold some bottom pair type hands like 3x or pocket fours or something that are beating us, or queen x or king x, that kind of stuff. So I think betting there is good. He limps. I'm just going to bet here. If he has a queen, he's just going to call down. And that's pretty much all we're targeting is the queen x. And he folds. That's fine. You will see some random stuff between me and Chimp, I think, since we do talk and do some study and stuff together, and then we end up playing together. So I just kind of do some random shit all the time. Keep him on his toes. I think we definitely 3-bet the queen jack suited here. Against under the gun, pretty sure it's a 3-bet. I think it'd be way too nitty not to 3-bet here. And then he 4-bets. He goes pretty big, 30 bigs. I guess I fold here at a position. This could be like a super nitty fold. I don't really know, but I think like Rex and stuff don't really 3-bet wide enough for us to be able to call that very often. And we're going to squeeze the queen king off this time. Eyewitness is a marked whale. Plays pretty straightforward. So it's like if they have kings or aces. Oh, well that's annoying. I'm not sure what to do here. I guess we fold. I don't know. Kings is fine. Ace king, yeah, okay. Crazy that ace king didn't just ship it, but that was the worry, is if I called it, he was just gonna rip. So, and then we're just like in a terrible, terrible spot. So I think squeezing's fine there. King queen off might be a bit loose against an under the gun open, but once the fish calls, the value goes up for squeezing pretty significantly. Would we ISO here? Yeah, so no point in checking. We'll just value bet. And we are going to 3-bet the ace queen suited. That's a good flop. I think it's one that we're supposed to check like 100% of the time. So I'm going to check, and then I'm going to hope that Chimp will blast into us. I'm going to take a minute, and then I'll call. It's not the best of cards. You son of a gun. Nice. You have this straight flush draw too, right? What do you do? Yeah, that's just some run bad there. Is what it is. I wonder if that is like GTO check back. I think it is when I have the absolute nuts. And this, like 7-8-9 is a board where if I have aces, kings, queens, even with the heart, I'm going to be like checking back a whole bunch. I'll bet sometimes when it's like aces, kings, and we have the heart in it. But generally, against good players, when you check here, they will bet. Because this just smashes their range. And if you have aces, you pretty much just have to close your eyes and call down a lot of the time. But generally speaking, because again, that's against good players. Against like weak, you know, regs, mini regs, fish, stuff like that. 160 bigs deep. Probably just called queen jack, and I'm gonna check raise this board. Pocket nines at a position. It's definitely folds some portion of the time. 3-bets some portion of the time. Calls some portion of the time. Even against the overbet here, I'm gonna check raise him. And here we'll check raise this. If we raise this, it looks so strong because he's overbet. So I think I like that. Okay, checks back here. And we're going to bet, fold. And then I'm going to blast this. And the king 9 suited will just defend. Oh, he shoves on us. That sucks. Well, je suis foldé. That is interesting. Now here, I'm gonna go half pot. Here, I'm gonna go half pot. Here, I'm gonna 3-bet. Okay, you wanna not like just run me over here? Check shoved on. Check raised. Okay, 9s should be good here, I think. Yeah. Fold here. 8's definitely call the 4-bet some portion of the time. And we bet here. Okay, so if I shove, I'm just calling. Yeah. I was gonna say if I shove, he just knows we have the nuts. This way he might be like locked into a bluff. I think ace king's a good call there. I think with my bluffs, I might go a little bit bigger some portion of the time. And we'll 3-bet the ace 6 suited. Shove here. Take it down. Let's just run that here. Yeah, we 3-bet call, check, bet small, and then half pot river. And here we're gonna bet half pot. We actually go smaller here against shovel spades because we're gonna be, you know, betting like 100% against that guy almost. But then yeah, I think the ace king's a clean call for sure on the river. It does block me having clubs, having that ace of clubs, but I still think it's a good call. Though I do think I would size up a bit more maybe with ace queen. Maybe I should size up more with value too there. Half pot does, like, I don't know. We do target like ace king, ace queen there with half pot, whereas like 3/4 they probably can start folding their ace queen, ace king hands and not be over folding. Oh my god, look at this table. What, we barely even won a hand. What just happened on that hand? Ace king suited. Oh, raise call, check. Yeah, what do you do? It's funny. Thing is, I don't even remember that hand. It was 5 hands ago, and I have zero memory of it. King 9 suited can definitely just be a fold there, I think. And again, against people who are not check raising enough and not defending properly, we're just going to start betting a ton. I think we ISO here. Get out of here. With our hand, I think we're just done. I think we can have the best hand some portion of the time. Excuse me. Sorry, keep forgetting I'm on microphone here. I'm sure you don't enjoy that. 10-9 versus aces is gross. Kings will raise. ISO the ace-9 off. Okay. GMFLMFU, whatever his name is. Right. Hey, we're gonna 4-bet. What was the last hand? That wasn't like a 4. Was that a 4-bet? Oh, he raised it. Just called. Yeah, what do you do? Bet raise call. But, it's tough again because this guy is rough, like, you know, extremely bluffy. Grammy just folds. I think like these 4-bet spots. I'm just gonna shove because it looks like ace king. I think we're more likely to get called here by shoving. Yeah. I think if we just call there, or if we bet. I mean, jacks versus kings, 4-bet pot. It is what it is. Clean cooler there. But basically, come on, man. This guy runs so good. It's stupid. It drives me nuts. Let's get a tilt. We did chop that, right? Yeah. But anyways, okay. I'm gonna fold. Headed position. I'm just gonna fold. I know we're 200 bigs deep. But yeah, I do like that jam. I think the jam's good. I think it looks like ace king. It looks like ace queen. It looks bluffy in a 4-bet pot. The ace-9 suited, I think, is mix. 8-9. We're gonna check to him, and we overbets this here. These overbets. What are these overbets? What are these overbets? Okay, that might slow him down. Let us see the overbet. All right, our turn. Good shot there. I think we're going to be battling 10% river bets here. Jack 7 suited will raise 642. Again, this has been a pretty short session. I should pull up the graph here today. Take a quick peek at it. This table's died off. Fold here. 1-2 table's not bad. Tokyo Penthouse with Planet Fumes. Rising, yeah, he is sitting at 10-20. The Jack 7 suited. I'll probably just fold that. The 10-8, I'd rather a little bit better. The ISO there, but probably fine. realistically. This guy 3X's, so annoying. Stack's so short, so these like 3X's are kind of handcuffing. How often has he been doing it? Yeah, he's just really not doing it very often, so I guess this time we'll probably just fold. And against a weaker player, I'll just bet here. If he doesn't have an ace, he's probably just going to fold. Not going to be enough floats in his range. That makes checking, you know, good in any way. So, only blocks some like ace 10, ace queen, whatever you want to look at it. But, all right. Fold jack 8. King jack off. Under the gun open, like it's probably questionable here, but I think with a fish, it's definitely going to be a good call. Full call. Okay, he checks back. So now we're just going to value bet. I don't really see a world, like he could check back tens. I don't really see a world where either of these guys check back ace jack, pocket eights, pocket deuces, queens, kings, aces. So we just probably have the best hand. So we'll just bet. There's definitely hands they'll call with, that they check with, that we're ahead of. So that's all fine and dandy. I guess we'll do a quick little update for today. Is the 23rd. Ace jack off. We're just gonna 3-bet here. Probably end up leaving this table shortly. Okay. Fold here. Don't think we need to go very big for continuation bet here on the queen, queen 5. Let's take it down. Fold the 10 deuce. Nines we're going to open. And this spot, we'll just range bet. He's going to call super wide against a small bet. 8s, 9s. Here we have 9s, but pocket 8s, 6, 7, 7, 8, ace high. Obviously some king X we'll call there. But yeah, now we'll just check back the 9s. Nice. Fold the 8-7. What? Oh, we got straight. Come on, this guy. The rivers for this guy are insane. But anyways, today is the 23rd. Wow, we've only had 4 tables up there. Wow, oh wait, more than that. So we're up about 200-ish. Queen, give or take. The 9-5, we're just gonna fold the 9 deuce, fold 7-3, fold 7 deuce. We'll fold 5-3 off. Oh, time. How long are we on here? Oh, let's just give me a short-ish stream today. It's harder to get the long streams when they start late. If we don't start before 5, like 4:35. 5 we can usually get a 2-hour stream in, but we're pretty late getting this one going today. So, but again, I know I've said it before, but I do want to try to get more streaming going later in the day. This doesn't really work out right now. I think check back flop. We block a bunch of the straight draws and stuff. I'll just go for a check raise here. He snaps it. Alright, we're just check folding. Okay, pretty standard there. Fold there, fold there, fold there. Thing is, the chat, like the snap calls, it's generally something like that. 10-6 suited, probably a little bit loose, but against the button open, I think probably okay. Okay, he checks back. And we're just gonna bet. And we're of course betting the ace king here. People overcall aces, so I think when you do have an ace, you should probably be value betting it pretty heavily. Against fish especially, because they're gonna have every single ace in their range. Chip it does call this flop, so we're just going to keep barreling on the turn. He does fold it, unfortunately. We might have taken a bit too long there, whether they're paying attention to that or not. Oh man, all into and no bad beat. That's too bad. I guess we'll 3-bet the deuces here some portion of the time. Raise, call, bet, raise, call. Crazy. Alright. The king queen against Harame. We'll just value bet. Or sorry, we'll just bet. You know, I don't know what we're doing. His range is so wide, we could be value betting, we could be bluffing. But we're going to bet, and we're going to bet turn, and we're bet a lot of rivers probably in that spot. I imagine king 5 is an ISO there. Pocket 5s against this guy. I think he likes to call, right? Let him call the king 5 off. No tension. Probably better to just raise here. The 10-8 off, I think, again, that's probably a defend against the button. And here, we're just going to bet. Okay, here, I think we'll just go half pot. Try to get some value out of, like, a 9 or a club draw that he doesn't really have, because he probably bets them almost always. And we'll check the side here. That's nice. I was going to say, he's not the type to check back a king there, so we should have the best pair. So probably be check calling. He's also not the type to check flush draw there either. I'm just going to call here because it's so small. That's fine. It is what it is. And we're going to ISO raise the ace-jack off. I didn't pay enough attention to the top left there, so I'm not 100% on what happened there. Fold jack 10. He limped again. We're going to value bet the 4. We're going to value bet again. And we're going to overbet river. Fold queen deuce. Yeah, so people seem to wake up around 6:37 because the viewership jumps around this time, and it's almost always when I'm shutting off, getting ready to shut the stream down, which kind of sucks. Yeah, well, he goes full pot here for the first time ever, so we're just gonna fold that. The 10-3 suited, I guess we fold this time. He's just opening his entire button here, four-handed, I think. It's like chip, it's moving. 6-4. So yeah, that is gonna mostly be the stream here. Unfortunately, we do have to go get some stuff done. But pretty good day, last couple days. We'll just pull both up yesterday, today. So we're up 500 over the last 1,000 hands. Clean EV, which is nice to see. Fold here, fold here. The queens, we 3-bet. Takes it down. It's good. I'm surprised he's not calling like everything, to be honest there. Given we're 300 big blinds deep, I'd probably call almost everything. Anything suited, I'd call for sure if I was him. Just the imply odds are massive in those spots. And they happen so rarely that I think it's an opportunity you should pretty much always take in position. Out of position gets a little bit sketchier, but in position with hands that can make the nuts, you know, they're good. He could have just had any 2 cards there, though, to fold. There, he obviously just had junk. Some ace-x offsuit or something, maybe. If you guys are watching the stream, make sure you hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. We are trying to commit to at least streaming a little bit every day. We have missed a couple, but I think overall it's been pretty good. So we do appreciate the support from you guys. Apparently there's been a bunch of drama with YouTube poker pages lately. So maybe we're going to look into that, kind of give an update maybe in the next stream. But there's been a lot of people talking about it. I know Easty was talking about it. Weasel was talking about it. Brad Owen was talking about it. So it looks like what's happening is YouTube's lumping poker in with gambling, whether on purpose or by accident. I do not know. What happened here? We raised, everybody just called. Squeak like clicked it back. Yeah, we're just gonna bet here. And the deuces we're just gonna fold. Yeah, so I'm not really sure what's going on with that. To me, it doesn't make any sense if that is the case. I feel like poker should be lumped in way more with check jack nine. It should be lumped in way more with like gaming and with financing and like stock investing and stuff. Because it's clear as day. Like here, let's just go. If you know how to play and you study and you learn, right? Now this is gonna be a short sample, but we do have much bigger samples. Did we value bet that or just check? I love this new feature. I love this and I hate time banks, so it is what it is, I guess. We're gonna value bet here at the 9. But anyways, the point to my spiel is that okay, well I'm gonna call again. King snap checks. He could have been chasing lots of flushes. A squeak could definitely maybe have an ace here or something. What the heck happened here? How is he on the button? What happened here? Check, 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 flop. I guess I wasn't paying enough attention, so I am just going to let that go. And 3-bet the 6-7 suited sometimes and call sometimes. So, point being, get this out of the way. Hold this, and I'm going to check raise here. He's not going to have too many 5s. Most of his 5s are ace 5. There's no ace out there, so it's going to block that. We block 5-6. We have all the 5s, so I think this is a good raise. I think anything but an ace probably holds here. And then depending on the turn, we'll decide if we're kings. Yeah, exactly. That's why that's so strong. In those spots where there's an ace out there, if he doesn't have an ace, you're going to fold out some massive hands. Alright. We're going to set up the next big blind. Flop an ace here. We're going to be value betting against Remy. Jacks multi-way on this board. I think we probably mixed between betting and checking. I'm going to call 1 against Remy, because I don't think he's going to double barrel. But when he goes pot, I think I just let it go. He's just too tight. Yeah, exactly. It's 100% he has that when he hits turn. But I think it's fine to call at least 1 there. But when it's 2, that's just the end of it. But anyways, my point is, for the YouTube algorithm and all this kind of stuff, you should be lumping, poker should be lumped into its own little category here. We're obviously running hot over this little sample, but point being, when you know what you're doing, it's just like the stock market almost, right? There's some ups and downs with variance, but overall, winning players win, right? So it's not the same. So I think it's kind of a pretty big disservice to the guys who have invested a lot of time in their poker channels and stuff to be getting burned, you know, with their ad revenue and everything else. So yeah, I mean, obviously, and they're like blocking views and stuff like that, or something like that. People's user rate, even Kmart, I was watching his stream the other day. He only had like 400 people watching him. I don't think I've ever seen him with less than like 800 or 1,000. So it's kind of ridiculous, but it's just like clean cut. Like we can even go back farther. Let's go back. Let's delete 50-cent dollar. Go back here. Go all the way up. And the point to this is that just like stocks, just like investing in stocks, investing in real estate, if you know what you're doing, you can make a bunch of money. So like it should be lumped in way more, you know, with chess, with investing, you know, with day trading, all that kind of stuff. Like my understanding, like financing and day trading is one of the biggest RPMs on YouTube. So for poker to not be lumped into that and being lumped in with like, I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to say the word, but like with lots, um, you know, of like table games, I guess we'll call them, and machine games and stuff like that is, in my opinion, ridiculous. So hopefully it's just kind of a algorithm check that needs to be adjusted, and that was not necessarily YouTube's intention, but that would suck for poker community in general, if that was the case. But it's pretty clean cut if we can get this to load. Go back here and try that again. So we are done for the day. So we will be clean off these tables. I'm just trying to make a point here, but it doesn't seem to be loading. But anyways, the point being is you can look it up. You can see it everywhere. That, you know, poker's a skill game. It shouldn't be lumped in with other, you know, those other games, and should be way more. You just see it with all the crossover between people who, like, you know, StarCraft pros come to poker, chess players come to poker. There's all kinds of crossover between all of it. Investors come to poker. Like it's pretty broadly accepted in that sense. But anyways, leave a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and we will